Hello, this is Kim from Fablestand. So, I decided to do something different for my annual tarot forecast reading for 2021. So for the past couple of years, also for as long as I've been practicing tarot, I've been doing like a tarot forecast reading for every single year, and usually I would use the spread like the wheel of the year, whatever it's called. Basically, you draw a card for every single month from January to December, so you end up with 12 cards, and usually you would draw one extra card to place in the center, and that would sort of be the overarching theme of the year. And then for the past couple of years, I kind of created my own annual tarot forecast spread, and I call it the year map, and it highlights some of the categories that are more relevant to me and how I perceive and organize my life in my head, like just how I perceive my life and the different categories of my life. I think I'll put like a picture up here if I can find it, but basically that particular spread has like kind of the theme of the year, the overarching shadow energy of the year, the overarching light energy of the year, my North Star, things that are kind of guiding my purpose and helping me align, things that that are grounding me, like that serves as anchor, etc. So it's kind of more like focused on personal development and spiritual growth and etc. And so I've been doing that, like usually like last year, for example, for the end of 2019, I did a couple spreads for 2020. I did the year map spread and also did wheel of the year. I pulled a card for every single month, but I just kind of like, I found that I wasn't really using them much, like I wasn't really referring back to them. I mean, like it really depends on how you want to use your reading or your spread. Maybe you just want to do it once at the beginning of the year just to see what's up and stuff, and that's it. But for me, I wanted to kind of constantly refer back to it to kind of see, like, you know, to see if it's true, to see if if what the cards picked up or what I thought the cards picked up versus what actually happened. Anyway, long story short, I decided to do something different this year because I was looking at the readings that I did for 2020 from 2019, and I just wasn't really looking back on it, and I also found that things started to happen sooner. Like every single card that was sort of placed in each month, it was really difficult to place it like chronologically. Like for example, like I got Lovers for March, but the theme of Lovers was kind of interwoven between like from February to April, so it wasn't just designated to one month. It was kind of like a consistent theme around that time. So I guess like in terms of time, it still has some relevance, but it just wasn't like, oh, this month is only the Lovers card, or this other month is only represented by this card. I find that these themes kind of like sort of like go into like the different months, and then sometimes they pop up again, and sometimes they happen a little sooner. So it's not exactly like, you know, it's not placed very well in the calendar. I mean, which is fine because like the future is never set in stone. The energies changes based on your decisions and the state of your being and your energy, etc. So that's fine. But I just found myself like I wasn't really utilizing the readings that I did. So I was like especially like after June, I think like this is kind of what it looks like. I will write down the month, the calendar, and then I will kind of just like write down the card, the interpretation of the card that I did at the beginning of 2020, and then I'll leave a space for like gratitude. But I just kind of stopped writing down gratitude stuff because I was writing it down on like other places. So yeah, and it kind of stopped being relevant, and so I thought I would do something different this year. Instead of doing multiple readings, one where I pull a card for each month, and then I do other readings, kind of like exploring the different categories of my life. I decided to kind of just like create a map or like a reading for 2021 that would sort of highlight the different important themes and aspects that I like to look at as how I like to organize and perceive my life in my head. Like people sometimes will organize their life based on life areas. They will have like career, business, they'll have family and friends, and love and connection, and finances, etc. So those categories generally don't speak to me because I don't really compartmentalize my life like that, because things like when it comes to money or relationship, I think they all sort of like have the underlying kind of theme, which is like usually when you're working through, say, limiting beliefs, it's usually the limiting belief of I am not enough or I'm not lovable, and it gets projected into the different areas of your life. So it's not like we actually have different, or it's not that I actually have different areas of my life like I don't use it that way. Like I don't see my life as like, oh, finances and then money and then relationships. I think everything is really connected because like your relationship with money has to do with your self-worth and your sense of self, and also just like, do you feel safe in this situation? Kind of similarly, like when you look at love and relationships and connections, that's also how you operate. So there's like a lot of like common themes that kind of just tie everything together. So I sort of I like to look at my life holistically, and I like to look at my life with themes and categories that could kind of encompass all the different, the typical life areas like finances and relationships. So I created my own categories, that's what I'm trying to say, and I'm going to do a reading based on those categories. And this is how I'm doing it. I haven't done it yet because I want to show you the spread and the layout before I do. So this is for 2021. I'm using the Legend planner, and this is honestly like the best planner that I've come across that has just literally everything that I need. Like I might make another video about this because I'm just such a stationery like junkie, and this is just the perfect planner for me. Like for example, the weekly spread has like everything that you need to write down your to-dos, and then it has a habit tracker, your work to-do list, personal to-do list, like a little doodle space, and then like reflection space. Everything is just perfect. So honestly, this is like the best planner ever. So this page originally was kind of like your life goals, and it has different life categories, but I have to cover all of them with stickers so I can write my own headings and categories. And even like if I didn't have the intention of doing that, it would just been covered by stickers anyway, because that's what my inner child wants to do. So, and also my adult self wants to do. It's just stickers. Okay, like stickers are magical is what I'm saying. So I have 8 categories and 8 different kind of categories of life, and then I'll just go over them with you. And for each category, I'll pull 3 cards. So this way it'll be something that I can sort of just constantly refer back to, because usually I find like throughout a year you'll have like certain themes that are just kind of happening throughout the year. It's not that this month this is what's happening this month and then this is what happening the next month. It's usually kind of more cyclical and seasonal in nature, so I thought like 3 cards per category sounds like a pretty good idea. So here are my categories. I got active wounds and moments of healing. So I'm going to go over the list first, and I'll just tell you what each category stands for and how I kind of define each category. So I got active wounds, moments of healing, moments of contraction, moments of expansion, major stressors and challenges, opportunities and inspo and lucky moments, North Star, anchor, compass. So this is like one category. And the last but not least, overall world energy. So the first 4 categories kind of like goes in twos. The first one, active wounds, kind of go with moments of healing. So active wounds would be kind of like anything that's lurking your shadows, anything that's driven by your ego, or anything that's making your inner child feel unsafe. Wounds that you kind of have to heal from, like themes, basically just wounds that are kind of showing up that are kind of ready to be healed in 2021. I'll draw 3 cards for this category and I'll list them here. I think this is just a more holistic outlook instead of like in January this is what's gonna happen, but I don't know, this makes a lot of sense in my head. I don't know about you. So yeah, active wounds is the first category. The second category is moments of healing. So this goes hand in hand with active wounds, obviously, because it's moments of healing. So these would be like anytime when you're expanding your heart and just opening your heart and bringing healing to that wounded aspect of you. So this is kind of like the other side of the conversation. I usually see my wounded self as my wounded inner child, because usually it's because my inner child's feeling unsafe for whatever reason and feeling unloved and not enough for whatever reason. So moments of healing would be maybe like a renewed awareness, or like or a new strategy I've developed to talk to my inner child, like a way of conversing with my inner child, maybe a new archetype that would come up to kind of parent and protect my inner child. So this will kind of fall under the moments of healing, and also kind of just like, so it kind of gives clue to like how I will heal these wounds, because like the first category would tell you what the wounds are, what are the things I'm working on, and what's ready to be processed. And moments of healing would be like, you know, like shadow and light, right? The energies of light that are kind of healing the shadow because it's emerged and it's ready to be kind of shined upon, sort of thing. So that's kind of moment of healing, and these two kind of go hand in hand. So I'll kind of see how the cards play out and how the meanings come together, maybe just like throughout the year. So I'm really excited. This is my first year trying this. We'll see what happens. All right, so category 3 and 4, we got moments of contraction and then moments of expansion. So I know this is a little similar to wounds and healing, but I see wounds and healing kind of like narratives that already exist within us, or working through limiting beliefs that already sort of exist within us. So I guess like, I guess it's overlaps a little bit. So I'll see how it plays out through the year. But how I envision these two categories, like for moments of contraction, it's basically anytime I'm misaligned, I'm not aligning myself with my truth, I'm kind of straying away from my truth, anytime I'm dimming my light. So I know this is super similar to wounds, because kind of like when you're acting out of your wound, when you're operating from your wounds, this is sort of, you're also kind of dimming your light. But moments of contraction could also be your response to certain individuals, certain like circumstances, unexpected events, or I think it probably speaks to like more like conscious choices. Like I make a choice and it wasn't aligned with my truth because I was playing small, I was people pleasing, so I made this choice and that was a moment of contraction. Or it may be something like a decision I have to make, and that could lead to like a moment of contraction. That could lead to like a lowering of my vibration. So that will be moments of contraction. Moments of expansion will be the exact opposite, that those are moments of empowerment and courage, change and transformation. So I think this would be like things, maybe like new awareness that I've cultivated, things that, how I'm growing and how I can sort of remind myself that I am indeed like very powerful. I'm not like, kind of how I tap into my inner power and my courage and my empowerment and stuff. So maybe moments of contraction would be, anything that is sort of leading me towards fear. Moments of expansion will be moments that lead me towards courage and expansion and light. So yeah, well, I'll see how these 4 categories play out. I know they're kind of like similar, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's the first 4. Category 5 is major stressors and challenges. So again, I will be drawing 3 cards per category. So this category is like basically anything that stresses me out, anything that challenges me. So it could be like any sort of major event or project that I embark on, or people or situations where it's high anxiety, high stress, high overwhelm, lots of pressure. Usually this is like, moments when my perfectionism is acting up, when my anxiety is acting up. Since I'm really prone to like, to anxiety episodes, I'm like, apparently I'm a high functioning anxious person, according to some like a TikTok. But anyway, but I'm very anxiety prone, so this would just be kind of like a heads up about like what are some of the things that could cause me a lot of anxiety, and kind of just things I could circumnavigate, just watch out for in 2021. So that's category 5. Category 6 is opportunities, inspiration, and lucky moments. So these would be like unexpected gifts and sort of moments of synchronicity and abundance, and anything that's really lucky that I didn't really think I was gonna get. Like it was just kind of things outside of my intention, outside of my plans that are happening, that are good, that are kind of unexpected blessings, lucky energies that I could really tune into, opportunities that present themselves to me, or a new direction to take, etc. So that would be for that category. Category 7, I put North Star, Anchor, and Compass. So basically anything that helps me like focus on the now and get my head in the game. Kind of like this is sort of like the navigating category. I envision myself like every time I feel lost or confused or I don't know what to do, I might come back to this category and just kind of look at the cards that I pulled and just feel like a sense of grounding. So this is sort of like truths. I wrote down like truths or wisdom to help me navigate 2021. So this is kind of like messages from the universe, like just overall guidance on the year. And I like to use languages that kind of have to do with journey, like North Star, Anchor, Compass, anything that helps you kind of navigate a map, right? Or just navigate a year. So that's category 7. And last but not least, the 8th category is overall world energy. So this is like basically the overarching themes of the year. It could be society or culture, even just your immediate family, anything that's outside of yourself, that's sort of basically the context of your life. Anything like whatever is going on, the energies that are going on, things you might have to watch out for, the overall dynamics and how you can play a part, or how those outside factors and environment could play a part in my life and in my energy and would interact with my energy, etc. So you can see like the first 7 categories are all about me and my energy and my healing and my journey, my mindsets, etc. I only have one category where it's more about like how the outside world influences me, because I think it's more important to focus on ourselves and to focus on our free will, our choices, our own healing, our narratives, etc. Because that's the only part of you that you can control, that you have power over. It doesn't really matter how the world is like. It's just kind of like a fact of life, I guess. Not in a pessimistic way, as in like you just kind of, it's more important to focus on yourself, like to direct energy towards yourself and your own growth, etc. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with that. So yeah, those are my 8 categories. I might kind of workshop the first 4 categories and just see, because, and maybe to find them a little more, because right now they're a little similar, but in my head they have this, there's like a subtle distinction. So I think the first 2 categories, like the wounds and the healing, they have to do with my inner child more. And inner child work, moments of contraction and expansion would be like a broader scope of like what I'm experiencing in life. So that's kind of how I'm differentiating them. I may come back like halfway through the year or just next year and just see if I want to change anything. But I'm pretty happy with what I came up with so far, because I just always, I don't know, I just like, I would do like a reading every year, but I would never really truly kind of make use of it. And I know like things change and the future is never set in stone and the energies change as well. So it's kind of like, it's not that I want to look at it to see what it predicts is going to happen, or I'm gonna like use it as a way to make solid decisions about my life in 2021. Like that's not what a forecast reading is about for me. It's more about like anticipating. It's more about like setting the intention of like, this is, I want to explore this year and the energies of this year, and also kind of just take a look at, okay, I've accomplished this much in 2020, and these are some of the emerging themes for 2021 and how they're going to be carried over into 2021, and how can I sort of be the best version of myself, and how can I continue to shine my light in 2021. So it's more like, it's less about like I need to know what the predictions are. Like that's not really how I use tarot for, you know, in terms of like more predictive type readings or reading into the future. It's more about like kind of reading into like what is emerging within me, what is ready to be processed, what am I growing into, what is going to inspire me, how can I navigate my journey better using the wisdom and experiences that I've cultivated in the previous year, because they all play a part in how I would hold myself and lead myself in the next year, which is 2021. So that's kind of how I envision like how I use a forecast reading. So I just want to like make it more useful, because I've been doing like the Wheel of the Year reading and some other types of reading, but it just never really clicked. I think it's because I never really actively looked into it, but this year I was like, I want to like create a map of 2021 that I will actually come back to and use. And see what happens, and just kind of have this sort of cyclical, like never-ending story type of vibe, because our growth is usually cyclical, right? So I thought that would be really cool if I created something like this. So this is what it looks like. And it's sort of like infested with panda stickers and star stickers, as always. Everything I do is just infested by pandas. Pandas are my spirit animal. My Patronus must be a panda. If I ever sort of like, if my spirit ever shows up in animal form, it's a panda for sure. Like, no question. All right, so that's it, and I think that's it. Yeah, I don't have anything to add. So I'm gonna do this reading later, just for myself. It's gonna be completely it's just between me, myself, and I'm not gonna show you what my readings are. I might share, maybe. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Anyway, let me know if this inspires you, or if you're gonna create similar categories, or like what categories would you add if you were to create your personalized categories and stuff. Let me know what you're doing for 2021. Like, what are your rituals for 2021, especially when it's what are your tarot rituals or card slinging rituals? What do you do? How to use tarot to navigate a new year and set intentions and use it for productivity, etc. Share with me in the comments, and make sure you like this video and subscribe and turn on the bell. Until next time, be the hero of your own story and stay cute, but fierce, and be awesome.